Welcome to Grow Mastermind Group. My name is Peter. I'm going to be your host, and our group is made up from entrepreneurs all over the world. We are basically in all continents, and I would say that we are one of the groups that we like to help each other to grow, encourage other entrepreneurs to discover, unleash, and fulfill their potential. And we work as a group, and each of us, they put their strength and help each other in their weakness to overcome obstacles in their entrepreneurial success. This being said, today we have with us Miss Taylor Wellman, and she is an expert in YouTube. And she's since 2014, her husband being in financial portion, which is one of the video making services businesses that shapes all sizes, and each of the business has doubled since the service expand. Financial portion makes sure that your video isn't going to collect digital dust, and it's going to fulfill the potential, and it's going to be out there for the world to see it, and to max out the reach, how the video is going to be reached, and to reach the target. And this being said, I'm gonna let Taylor to take over, and we're gonna have this beautiful presentation about all the key elements that YouTube video needs.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for having me today. I'm really excited to teach you some amazing things. So in addition to talking about, YouTube, we are going to be going over these various things. So basically, we're going to be talking about the 3 types of videos you should be producing as a business. It's one thing to know about posting to YouTube, but if you're not sure what to produce, then you need to know. And what are some of the basic equipment that you can invest in order to do some quality videos on your own? Now, as you heard, we are a video marketing company. We do full service video production from thought to distribution. We're FAA certified for commercial drone use. And so yes, we love to be hired to do all the productions, but that's not realistic. You need to be able to confidently do videos on your own sometimes. And so we're going to talk about some of the production tips, and then of course some social media optimization, because we don't want you to collect digital dust. It's one thing to have a quality produced production, but it's another thing to actually get it seen. And did you know that when you share a video on social media, it's going to have a 1,200% increase in shares than if you were just to post text or images alone? Yes, 1,200%. And so if you are someone who needs to market online, and let's face it, we all need to market online these days, then utilize your time to the best and post videos on social media correctly by having them search engine optimized. All right, so let's get to it. First type of videos that you need to do are introductions. And I do say introductions because sometimes you can have multiple introduction videos. You don't just stick with one. And so when you're creating your introduction video, here are the scripting items. And so number 1 is, what problem does your offering solve? When people are online, they are looking for solutions to their problems. And so you want to say right there in the front, what problem does your offering solve? And then, who are you and what is your business name? Who is your target audience? I know many business owners can say, everyone's my target, but let's get real. That is not reality. Think about who are your best clients, and then how do you differ from your competition and what makes you unique? I'm not necessarily saying to say you're better than so-and-so down the street, but no, talk about the aspects that make you unique. And then what resistance or objections will people have to you or your services? I am sure you have heard before issues that people have. Go ahead and in this introduction video, talk about those objections and resistance and make it so it's not an issue anymore. These introduction videos are going to be that first impression of you. And so whatever it might be, go ahead and put it out there in the front. And then when, where, and how do you want people to take action? This is your call to action. And your call to action should be in every single video that you produce. And as a bonus, go ahead and add a testimonial. Now, the reason why I said introduction videos, and it can be multiple videos, is because you need to have one that is this generic video, and typically you want to keep between 60 to 90 seconds long. And so in order to accomplish that, you want to answer all these questions using only one sentence. But then you can also do more introductory videos that just tell people more about who you are as a person. What is it that you do that makes you unique? People like to do business with people they know, like, and trust, and would actually hang out with. And so if you're someone who gardens, who rescues dogs, who, any hobby like that, then someone with a similar hobby is already going to be more attracted to you. Number 2, reviews. Word of mouth is one of the oldest forms of marketing. However, it's still the most reliable and successful to work for you. And so you want to capture video reviews, not just the written word. You make sure that they are on screen and they're answering these few questions. What is your name and who are they? Normally, I work with a lot of business owners, and so it's really great in order to allow them to kind of toot their own horn and talk about themselves. All right. And now we would also want to talk about, how did you first start working together? It's important to build a story. Who are they? How did you start working together? What was the process like? And what were the results? Discuss anything that's tangible in detail. If you're a real estate agent, for example, how quickly were you able to help them sell their home? How much more money were you able to help them get at closing or save when purchasing their new home? Or if you're a fitness trainer, how many pounds or how many inches were you able to help them lose? Those tangible results are things that people can connect to and really see themselves achieving them too. And then, have you tried a similar product or service before, and how did this differ? Once again, I'm not saying to totally name bash someone. I personally hate name bashing ads where they just talk bad about the other person. Instead, talk about what made you special and what made you unique. And then, would you recommend the same service, person, business, and why? And if someone's extremely busy, have them answer this one question and make sure that they use the word recommend and they have your name or business name as a part of it. And so, yes, I would recommend the same person or this business, because have them answer that one question. By just answering that one question on video, it's going to be a successful testimonial for you. Then SSME videos. Those are search and subject matter expert videos. People want to know who you are and what is it that you do, and that you are an expert. And by regularly posting these SSME videos, not only is it going to help you with your search matter expert ideas, because whenever someone is searching for a question, you are then going to populate as that expert once I tell you those tools to optimize on social media. You also are going to be the subject matter. And so then whenever someone is needing your solution, you will be top of mind whenever you're posting these SSME videos. And so what are different types of SSME videos? Well, what is on your FAQs page? What are some things that people are frequently asking you? And then what are you getting hand cramps retyping in emails all the time? Or you're feeling like a broken record constantly repeating it over the phone? What are some of those topics that you can then put into video? Because did you know that people will retain 60% of the information given in a video, comparative to only 20% when read and 30% when heard? And so make sure that people are remembering the important content that you're sharing. Are there any industry definitions that you could be providing in video? Is there anything seasonal that you could be talking about, or trending that you could be talking about? Show that you have your pulse on the current atmosphere and the current culture issues that are going on, and talk about them. And the biggest thing too, though, is to keep them short. Typically, an average retention for someone is 1 minute or less. And so if you're writing your scripts, that's typically 150 words. Now let's talk about the equipment you need that won't cost you an arm and a leg. Because honestly, if you were going to spend thousands of dollars, you're probably going to have a more successful production by just hiring a production company. I'm trying to teach you what you can do on your own. And so all the equipment that I'm going to be talking about, you can actually find on our website at financialpotion.com/equipment. We talk about different equipment that we recommend, and it's all linked to Amazon Prime, so you can get it nice and fast. Number one is we need to keep it steady. And so you're going to want to get a tripod of some sort, either a basic tripod or one with what's called a fluid head. And you're going to want a fluid head if you're planning on panning, that's from going left to right, or doing a lot of tilting, that's going up and down with the camera. And many people have newer phones, and I know like new iPhones have 4K quality video. So you can totally use your phone for basic videos like your SSME videos. And if you're planning on using a cell phone or a tablet, you need to get a tripod clamp for it. So something that's going to hold onto that device and then clamp onto your cell phone. And something like this is $40 to $60 and above. The answer will always be an above. For example, our tripod is about $600. And so you can always go more expensive, but on the low end to get started, you're looking at about $40. Another option to keep it steady is to utilize a gimbal. This is something that's going to allow you to walk and talk with it. And so if you're doing any type of tours of your facility, this would be something worth considering to get. And that is then going to be, starting around $85 and above. Now, it's important to be able to see you, but we need to truly be able to see you. And even though your camera or your phone may have 4K capabilities, it's not going to look great if there isn't enough light in the scene. Even doing Zoom videos like this, you need to add light to your scene to be fully lit, and especially if you're going to use a virtual background, it's going to look even better the more lighting you have in your scene. And so there's many options for that. The most popular for people who are just getting started is the ring light. And the ring light actually has a tripod, a part of it, and so you can actually use this kind of as your tripod and light all in one. If you're someone who's going to be on the go, then this ring light that can clip onto your phone is great. We personally use dimmable, temperature adjustable LED lights like this, so we can really set a scene to whatever color temperature we need it. And then for people who are going to be utilizing the beautiful outdoors, you might want to consider getting a reflector. The sun is a really great resource for light, but sometimes it can create some awkward shadows. And so by utilizing a reflector and a reflector holder, you can then help position the reflector to then bounce sunlight onto your face, and then that way you're evenly lit. And like I said, you always want to have even lighting, minimize your shadows, and it's going to make you look younger and just have a better image overall. And for the prices of that, you're looking at $20 for this basic ring light that can attach to your phone to $800 and above. So we know that we can see you with the camera, we can see you because you're beautifully lit, but we also need to be able to hear you. And so you always want to think about your end in mind. What kind of videos are you going to be producing? If you're primarily going to be stationary in one particular spot, then you can get away with something on the right, which is called a Rode mic, shotgun mic. So Rode is a brand, really good brand. Sennheiser is a good brand we use, Kimafun, Fifine, all really good brands. And so a shotgun mic would be good if you're staying stationary. We primarily use lapel mics though. And so right here on the left-hand side, you're gonna see that this is a wireless lapel mic that can work with your phone, computer, tablet, and many cameras. And so for the pricing on that, apologies, I did not have that graphic up there. For the pricing on that, you're looking at a start of about $25 if you're going to plug in a microphone like the one I'm currently wearing, all the way up to $900 and above. Editing. So you have your video, it's beautifully, shot, it's produced amazingly, but you need to do some editing. There is once again, and always, options. You can trim your videos just using your phone. Every phone has a trim capability where you can just trim off the beginning and the end when you're getting started, and there you go, you have a video. If you use Mac, then you can get iMovie. iMovie is a very consumer-friendly software that is free for Mac users, and so that's something you may want to consider. Down here, we have what would be the PC option. Unfortunately, it's not free, but it's very similar in iMovie in that it has a lot of consumer-friendly features to it. And so if you were going to do that, then it would be called Movavi. Movavi is the PC option. Or if you want to be dual like we are, you might want to consider getting the Adobe Creative Suite. This works well with both Mac and PC computers, and it gives you capabilities to not only have Premiere Pro, which is an amazing editing software, but you would also get After Effects. That's where you can have really nice motion graphics. If you're going to do anything with a green screen or anything with motion text graphics, you're going to want to use After Effects. But it's a lot more technical. So you definitely need to be someone who wants to learn how to do editing and who really wants to dive into editing because it's also the most expensive. Capwing is an online resource and an app resource that can help you easily make text graphics on top of your images to create image graphic videos. Now, the key is we don't want you to collect digital dust. That is the most important thing. It's one thing to have a great video, but if it's just going to sit on the shelf or if you're just going to throw it up on the social wall and hope it gets seen, you're not going to have as much success as if you were to utilize the video distribution roadmap. So this is the video distribution roadmap. And as you can see, you're going to create your video. You're that little red car right there. And the first stop is going to be to go to YouTube Lane. YouTube is not a social platform. It is a search engine, and it's actually the #2 used search engine next to Google, who has owned YouTube since 2008 and therefore always populates YouTube videos in the Google searches. And so you always want to go down to YouTube Lane, and then you're going to upload and optimize using the 9 steps to YouTube optimization. Let's go ahead and review those 9 steps now. #1 is you need to have an optimized title. That's having 70 characters in your title, and you're allowed up to 100 characters. Whenever someone is scrolling on a wall, the very first 30 characters is what's seen by the viewer as a preview, and then the additional 40 characters isn't shown until they actually click on the video. So make sure those first 30 characters is something that's eye-catching, something that is answering the question that someone could be asking, and then utilize the last 40 characters for your search engine optimization. And so, for example, how to is the #1 used search phrase. So the more you can put how to into your titling, it's going to help your search results. Step 2, that's having a fully optimized description. A description can have up to 5,000 characters, and for it to be considered search engine optimized, you only need 2,000 characters. So although that sounds like a lot, it's less than half of what you're able to have, and you're going to write your description in a 4-part format. Part 1 is going to be literally 3 to 4 lines, which is a summary of the particular video, as well as a call to action link back to your website. And in order to have your links be clickable on YouTube, you need to make sure you're using the full http:// the full URL. And for some of us, that can be a long URL. And so you're going to want to possibly use bit.ly in order to make a shorter bit.ly link to fit within that space. Part 2, that's going to be your full transcription of your videos. And then part 3 is going to be a detailed description of who you are as a business and as an entrepreneur, or what is your product. And then step 4 is your stay connected section, where you're going to add additional links to your website as well as your social media sites. Step 3 for YouTube optimization is adding tags. These are not hashtags. If you want to add hashtags, you can put those in the description. These are actually words and phrases you want your video to be found for, and you're allowed to have up to 500 characters. So go ahead and go to as close to 500 as possible. Put in a custom thumbnail. A custom thumbnail is one of the reasons why people will click on a video. It's the thumbnail and the title are looking like they're going to be answering the question that someone is asking, and it looks interesting. So normally a good thumbnail is going to have a smiling face as well as some text to let people know what the video is going to be about. Then end screens. Those are elements that are at the end of a video, typically within the last 20 seconds of a video. And it's going to encourage people to watch more of your content, subscribe to your channel, and once you've reached certain YouTube thresholds, you're going to be able to link directly back to your site. And so you need about 1,000 subscribers in order to be eligible to add these end screen links to your website. Cards are basically the same thing as end screens. You can do all the same elements. However, you can place them anywhere in the video. You don't have to wait for the last 20 seconds. You always want to correct your transcriptions. Those are the closed captions you see at the bottom of your video. And you want to do that not only for the hard of hearing to be able to have accurate content to read, but also for Google, because Google will read the transcriptions for search results. In addition to that, by correcting the transcriptions, you're going to be able to save a lot of time in future optimization steps on other platforms. Playlist placement. You always want to make sure that you put your video in whichever playlist that it's appropriate. And so if you have a video that can fit in multiple topics, go ahead and put the video in each topic. That way, when someone lands on that particular playlist, they're going to be able to click on it, and then one video will populate after the next video, after the next video, and they're going to stay on your content longer. And then last but not least, location tag. You always want to make sure that you're putting your Google Map location in the video, because then that link is going to populate at the top of your title so it can click on it and quickly go to your Google page and faster into your office. So those are the steps to YouTube optimization. And once it's optimized, you can travel down the road, and then you can embed your videos on your website and your email newsletters. You can use your direct link to link videos on your email signature. If you're someone who is marketing to the women demographic who are 35 years and above, and really I'm 30 and I love Pinterest, so I'd say 30 and above, maybe even 25 and above, but the statistics say mostly 35 and above, you're going to want to utilize Pinterest. And really the best way to do that is if you're blogging. If you're blogging, put the blog on your website, add a video teaser about the blog at the top of that blog page on the website, then post that teaser video on Pinterest, linking back to that blog page on your website. You can utilize your playlist links to then post your videos to LinkedIn or Twitter. LinkedIn's a platform where you can either utilize the playlist links from YouTube, or you can directly upload your videos to LinkedIn. So far, we haven't really seen statistics of one being better than the other, of whether you're directly uploading to LinkedIn or utilizing a YouTube link. But if you are directly uploading to YouTube or to LinkedIn from YouTube, you want to make sure you're downloading that YouTube SRT file. The SRT file is that corrected closed captions, the corrected transcription, because LinkedIn and Facebook are both platforms where 80% of the viewers are watching videos on silent at first. And so you always need to make sure that the videos you're uploading to those platforms have closed captions and have large text graphics, because you need to attract the person as they're scrolling on the wall. They need to be able to read along of what the content is about to then decide if they want to truly click on the video and really watch it. Patreon is also where you could use either your playlist links or your video links to post to. Patreon is an amazing site to have if you want to build a membership, but don't necessarily want to pay for the hosting of a membership site yourself. Patreon is a community that you can create that membership, offer them different perks depending on their membership level, and you would just be utilizing your YouTube links to post to that platform. As we go to the other side of town, you're going to see that Facebook lives on the opposite side of town of YouTube, because Facebook and YouTube do not get along. Facebook wants to be the head honcho of your attention. And so if you were to take the exact same video, Post one directly to Facebook, and then post it also by using the YouTube link. You'll be amazed at how many more views, more shares, more everything you're going to get from the video that you directly uploaded to Facebook than the one that you just posted the YouTube link. Facebook algorithms are super smart, and that's why you even don't want to use things like Buffer or Hootsuite. It knows you're using a third-party site, and they want you to use their platform. So always directly upload to your Facebook account. And then when you do so, don't just share directly from Instagram. Don't just click and drag your video into there. Go to your publishing options and then click on photo and video and upload your video, because that's going to give you access to these optimization tools. You need to put in a title. It doesn't need to be a 70-character title like it was on YouTube, but you do want to have a nice, clean title on there that shares what the video is about. Put in a description, and this is definitely not a 2,000-character description. This is going to be a post content piece. So would you put emojis on there? If that's a part of your brand and your style, then do that. Who else was a part of the video that you can tag? When you can tag people, it's going to help you get in front of so many more eyes, because then they're going to share it, and anyone who's connected to that person is also going to see that post. Add tags. These are not 500 characters worth of tags, more like 6 quality tags. What should that video be found under? And when you're typing tags in Facebook, you are going to see then that some suggestions are going to pop up. And if you can choose one of those suggestions, that's better than creating your own unique tag, because those suggestions are connected to their Facebook ads. And so something the algorithm is already recognizing and then already populating to people of those interests. Custom thumbnail. Although the majority of the videos that are going to be seen on Facebook are just auto-played because they're on the Facebook watch, or they're just going to be auto-played as you're scrolling on the wall, it's still important to have a custom thumbnail, because if someone goes to your Facebook page and goes to your videos tab, you want to see a beautiful looking library of your content. And then lastly, probably the most important step is adding that transcription, adding that correct closed caption. And once again, you can download that closed caption from YouTube. And when you do so, it's simply just going to say captions.srt. And you need to make sure that you add the .en_US if you're doing an English version. Of course, if it's French, then it's going to be a different tag in there. Or if you're doing Japanese, it's going to be a different tag in there. Spanish will be a different tag. But the majority of people that I work with are English speaking from the United States. And so you want to make sure that you add .en_us.srt. If you are someone who does primarily speak in a different language and will be uploading videos that are in a different language, when you upload your captions that have been corrected from YouTube, it will let you know what that additional information should be added to your title. It'll let you know how you should retitle that file to make it work correctly. And so once again, the reason why this is so important is because 80% of the users on this platform are watching the video on silent. And so you want to make sure that they read along and then choose to actually click and fully watch your video. If you don't think you're going to be utilizing YouTube so much in order to correct your transcriptions, another great resource to use to get these corrected transcriptions and SRT files would be rev.com, rev.com. They also provide subtitles in other languages. And so if you did want to have your video subtitled in a different language, that would be a really great resource to use. And it's very inexpensive. I want to say the subtitles for a different language is like $3.25 a minute. And then subtitling for English is $1.25 a minute. So very, very affordable and a time saver. I personally use rev.com on any video that's longer than 5 minutes. So the key really is to not collect digital dust. You want to make sure that you produce a quality video with good equipment, that it's not too long, that it's going to hold people's attention, and that once you have that video fully edited, that you are correctly optimizing it on the social platforms. I didn't talk about Instagram. For Instagram, post to Instagram if it's a minute or less, and still, just like with Facebook and LinkedIn, have your closed captions, have heavy text graphics. And if it's any video that's longer than a minute, then you're going to want to upload it to Instagram TV. It doesn't have to be vertical. It can be a horizontal display, so you don't need to re-edit your video. And that first minute of that video will get posted on Instagram as a teaser that someone could then click on and see the full version on Instagram TV. That's a really great platform for anyone that you're trying to market to. It's between the ages of 18 to 40 these days. Instagram is really good. But primarily, people are focusing their time on YouTube and on Facebook. Facebook's a really great platform for anyone marketing to someone who is in the age range of 30 and above. That's a really great platform for 30 and above. LinkedIn, if you're looking for a more affluent demographic, then that's where you're going to be. It's where the more affluent audience is, as well as business owners and CEOs. And so think about, where is your audience? Where should you be spending your time? And then go back to this video distribution roadmap in order to go to the right spots, do the right steps, and be successful marketing your videos online. My name is Taylor Wellman. And if you have any additional questions, I do provide half-hour complimentary strategy sessions. And so just reach out to me to schedule a strategy session. We'll see where you currently are in your marketing, what your goals are, and what could be done with video marketing to help you reach those goals sooner. We also provide complimentary YouTube audits. And so if you already have a YouTube channel and you're not sure how it's looking search engine optimization-wise, send me a link to that YouTube channel. Our team will create an audit, and then we'll highlight what you're doing really good and some areas you might want to focus on in order to enhance your search engine optimization. So thank you again for having me here today. I really hope you learned a lot. Apologies if I talk a little fast sometimes. I'm originally from the East Coast of the United States, and we're known for talking a little fast. And so I try to slow myself down, but hopefully you're able to pick up a few nuggets in order to be more successful using video on social media and online.
Thank you very much, Taylor. It was amazing information. You know, don't worry, we catch you. We're gonna capture so everybody's gonna be able to follow you. But you know, amazing information, very well put together. The slides, and you know, it's really informative for what has to be done. A few questions, if you don't mind, just to clarify.
Of course.
So in case somebody's gonna have questions, also is gonna be able to reach out to you. And one of the things that it came to my mind, you mentioned a lot about the idea of a certain sequence that they have to use, certain things that has to be on YouTube. Do you use any software that's gonna be kind of overwatch what you do there to make sure that you're doing the right thing, you have all the elements in place, and everything is right to the point where it's gonna be productive and it's not gonna end up in that dust that we were talking earlier?
Very, very great question. So I personally love using the software TubeBuddy.com, TubeBuddy.com, TubeBuddy. They have membership levels that you can pay for. However, 90% of my clients use the free software, and on there you can create a checklist. And so all the information that I shared about the optimization steps, you could put that as your checklist that will then pop up. So then you could check off, okay, did I do this step? Did I do that step? It will also help you create custom thumbnails right on your YouTube platform. They even give you suggestions on certain tags you should add. And so TubeBuddy is a really, really great software to add whenever you're doing YouTube optimization to stay on track, make sure you're not missing a step, as well as assist you with some of those steps.
Nice. Tubi, we're gonna put it right there on the bottom so everybody can see it.
Mm-hmm.
The two more questions, one of them is still related to the YouTube because we talk about YouTube here. So one of the things that I always struggle myself, it was the idea of be able to determine what is gonna be my YouTube video known for, what category, what is gonna be search for as a YouTube. It was one of those things that, okay, when I'm going to be in marketing, am I going to be as an entrepreneur, is going to be as a business, is going to be as advice, education. So what is going to be like the best way to kind of figure out, you know, how you gonna put all those, like, first of all, is going to be the subject, the first part is going to be the description and the tagline, to be aligned in a certain way that is going to be popping up on YouTube as a certain, I would say, entity, education, or whatever is going to be that niche that's going to be for.
So I moved back to the screen of the SSME videos. That's what you want to think about. What are you a subject matter about? One of my clients, he's an artistic welder. He just welds sculptures. That's what he does for a living. And that's what he does on his YouTube channel. He tells people about the equipment he's using for his sculptures. He's telling people how to do a particular type of weld. Anything in the world of his world, he's making videos, and he's currently right now making about $1,000 a month on YouTube, in addition to everything that he's being paid for whenever he's being contracted to make a piece of artwork for someone. And so really think about, what are you a subject matter expert on? Because even if it's a very, very niche topic, there are other people that need to know about that niche. And so don't try to be everything. Don't say, oh, well, video games are really popular, so I should do videos on video games. If that's not your passion, or if that's not what you're an expert in, then don't try to be an imposter and go into that arena. Think about what you are an expert in, and then make your YouTube channel around that.
Great advice, great advice. And now, like talking about the subscription, you said like he's making $1,000 a month. I presume he has 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours, all that bells and whistles that they need. How are you going to achieve that thing? What is going to be the journey to get to that one, at the fast pace? I assume a lot of people have this mystery in their mind.
Yes. Well, to do that, you need to stay consistent and keep your promises. And so what that means is, if you say you're going to post a video once a week, and really that's a bare minimum if you want to be successful on YouTube, is once a week. If you say you're going to post once a week, post once a week, the same time every week. So it is like a TV show. You do become content that people look forward to. And then, keep that promise. That's also extremely important. There's nothing worse than putting it out there that you're going to post once a week, you're very consistent for the first month, and then you just drop off. Obviously, you're not going to maintain your subscribers, and you're not going to gain more subscribers by not keeping to your promises and not staying consistent. So whatever is realistic for you, stick with that. And YouTube loves consistent posting. So meaning, if you can post once a day, post once a day. If you can post 3 times a week, then post 3 times a week. But at the very minimum, post once a week. And many of us are busy business owners, and so it might seem stressful to find time to do that once a week. My suggestion is to always record at least 5 videos per session. So that way, if you are posting once a week, you have a little more than a month to work with. And so then that means within that next month, you can do another 5 video session or more, have them scheduled out, have everything scheduled out ahead of time for you, so you can keep your promises and you can stay consistent.
Amazing. Amazing. And last question that I have here is regarding the social media and the YouTube.
Okay.
What would be the best, I will say? I know that you have a roadmap, a complete roadmap of everything that we need.
Yes.
However, what would be the best way to kind of describe this connection between them? And like, there's a lot of videos, a lot of gurus that they teach you, hey, if you're on YouTube, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to be on social media, on Facebook, you have to upload your own thing because the Facebook is not part of Google and YouTube, so you have to do your own thing. However, the question that I think it's important is like, what will be the most important, let's say, 4 social medias that will help not only to grow your YouTube channel, but also to be exposed to the right people? And how are you going to determine which are those channels?
So you need to figure out who your target demographic is. That's the number one. There's no one size fits all in terms of what platforms you should be marketing on. To use my business as an example, we are a B2B video marketing business. And so for us, our top platforms are YouTube, which really that's going to be on everyone's list. So everyone, no matter what your industry is, no matter what your target demographic is, number one, it's going to be YouTube, because that is not a social platform. It's a search engine platform. And so go ahead and always have YouTube number one. But then number two for us, LinkedIn. We work with businesses. And so if you're a B2B business, you need to be on LinkedIn. That's where the business owners are and where the decision makers are. So for number two, for us, for a B2B, it's LinkedIn. Number three, Facebook. People live on Facebook. Facebook's definitely an extremely popular social platform. And there's a mixture of people in there. There's business owners, there's, consumers, but typically an older demographic. And so that's where we spend a lot of time on Facebook. And then for us, number four would be Instagram, because for Instagram, it's starting to be a little bit older of a demographic and it's a visual platform. But let's say I was a purse maker. Let's say I made purses. Then my top four platforms would be YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook. So notice, you really need to think about who is your target demographic, what is their age range, what is their economic level, where are they spending their time, and then, what type of businesses are you trying to connect with, or what type of people? Is it B2B or are you B2C? In order to determine the best platforms, you need to think about where your audience is. Now, it's important to have a profile on every platform, because then when someone searches for you, you want to have the best opportunity to be found. You want to fill up page number one. So go ahead, have a platform or have a profile on every platform, but you don't need to be active on every platform. Only be active on the ones that your target demographic is active on.
Wonderful. Taylor, thank you very much. This was such great information. And please, can you post one more time where people they can find you? If anybody has any questions?
Yes, of course. Yes, please give me a call, send me an email, reach out to us via our website. Once again, our website has a lot of equipment recommendations on there. We provide half-hour strategy sessions where we can talk about what you're currently doing, where you want to go, and how we can help you get there with video. And then we also provide YouTube audits. So send me a link to your channel and we'll give you a complimentary audit.
Thank you very much, Taylor. It was a great to have you on this show, and we're going to post it on YouTube, and you can go there and review it.
Yes.
We'll do the best work with you. So,
I appreciate that. Yes, please send me the link when it's up, and I'll love to blast it out as well.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And, hopefully you're going to stay safe there in Arizona, where, it's also a symbol of trouble.
Yes, same to you in Florida, wishing you to stay safe, healthy, and happy. Don't forget about being happy too.
Of course, happiness is the number one target that we all have, yeah?
Yes.
The achievement of freedom, to be happy. Thank you very much one more time, and hope we're going to talk soon, and please follow us, okay?
Yes.